This is the brief on the Luan Hok and Blood Eagle Corps's impending battle. Okay, so picture this. In the Heavenly Compass territory, two major military groups are squaring off. And yeah, everyone's watching to see what happens next. First, you've got the Luan Hok Corps, kind of the underdogs, led by Commander Chen. He's taken this huge gamble, a bet really, against the much bigger Blood Eagle Corps, who are led by Commander Xie. And the stakes? Well, Luan Hok's entire existence is on the line. Problem is, they're seriously outnumbered. We're talking maybe 1,000 of their warriors against over 5,000 from Blood Eagle. Talk about long odds, right? Second, Luan Hok's best hope, maybe their only hope, rests on Chen mastering this really ancient, powerful skill, the War Array Master. Apparently, his mysterious sister let him in on it. It's a rare technique, letting a commander channel and boost an army's entire battle power. A real master could potentially even stand up to someone like a heavenly supreme cultivator, which is incredibly powerful. So, Chen's basically locked himself away, training like mad with this cryptic scroll, trying to learn how to control the army's battle energy, their aura, using his heart, not just raw power. Finally, don't think the Blood Eagle Corps is just relying on numbers. Oh no. Their general, Wu Tian, got his hands on a potent, void spirit pill from Xie. This thing lets him command their whole massive army, all 5,000 of them, without the usual mental strain from handling all that battle aura. It pretty much ensures they keep that crushing advantage. Pretty clever move. So, this battle is really going to show if the Luan Hok Corp can somehow beat these impossible odds and keep their place in the Heavenly Compass territory. This is the brief on the massive military showdown between the Rockbird Hall and Bloodhawk Halls in the Daluo Heavenly Territory. Okay, so we're diving into some really intense stuff here. Crazy preparations, shocking tactics, and this unprecedented military bet that could honestly shake up the entire Daluo Heavenly Territory. All right, let's break it down. There are three really key things you gotta know about this whole situation. First, there's Commander Chen's huge breakthrough. After 3 intense days, he finally got a real handle on the GNER aura. That's like the combined fighting spirit and energy of all his troops. He basically stopped fighting against it, let it flow into him, and boom, he leveled up, becoming a true Jianzhenshi, a real general, ready to lead the fight. Second, you need to understand the stakes here. They are wild. This isn't just some random fight. Nope, it's a massive public wager between these two rival groups, the Rockbird Hall and the Bloodhawk Hall. And get this, if the Rockbird Hall loses, they have to hand over their entire organization. Seriously, it just completely wipe out their reputation, their standing, everything. Finally, yeah, the Bloodhawk Hall, they pretty much pulled a fast one right at the start. Their commander, Xie Ling, brought out their whole army, like double the troops anyone expected, just to make sure they'd win. And then their actual battle leader, Wu Tian, took something called a Void Mind Pill. It helps him control that ridiculously huge battle aura without freaking out. It's nasty, kinda cheating, but technically allowed. Puts the Rockbird Hall in a really, really tough spot. So, the battle's on now. And honestly, the odds are seriously stacked against the Rockbird Hall. They're really counting on Chen and his newfound command skills to pull off something amazing.
This is the brief on the clash of elite combat units. So, ever wondered what happens when sharp strategy goes head-to-head with raw spiritual power? We're diving into this really cool YouTube source that breaks down an intense battle, between two major combat units in this fantasy world. It's all about where commanding skill and mystical energy just collide. First, picture this brutal showdown kicking off. You've got the Bloodhawk unit, right? 5,000 strong, led by Wu Tian, known for being pretty ruthless. And they're facing the Lutine Bird unit, way smaller, only 1,000 folks, but commanded by Chen, who turns out to be incredibly powerful. Wu Tian attacks first, with their big move, the Bloodhawk Spear Demon Array. It's this huge collective attack using their unit's special combat aura, something called Jianyi. Second, and this is pretty amazing, Chen. Now, he's kind of new to this place, the Gongwei Heaven Realm, which is like a celestial domain, but his control over that Jianyi energy, it's off the charts. His smaller unit manages to counter Wu Tian's massive Bloodhawk War Seal attack. They use their own technique, Lutine Bird Wing slashes the heavens, and literally split Wu Tian's attack in two. Just stunned everyone watching. Finally, Wu Tian, kind of pushed into a corner by this unexpected resistance, resorts to something desperate, a forbidden technique called blood sacrifice Jianyi. Yeah, he makes his troops sacrifice their own blood to power up this enormous blood demon spear that splits the heavens. But Mu Chen's unit, their response is pure loyalty, fierce, unwavering, allowing Mu Chen to boost their collective Jianyi to levels nobody thought possible, setting things up for one heck of a climax. This epic fight really highlights leadership, unique powers, and just the sheer will to win out.
Alright, this is the brief on the Daluo Heaven Realm's looming sect war. So, the Daluo Heaven Realm, it's basically on the edge of this huge conflict, right? And it all got kicked off by a pretty surprising win, led by this up-and-coming young star. First off, let's talk about Mu Chen. He's this young cultivator, one of those folks who wields powerful mystical arts. And get this, he led his way outnumbered Liuyan army and totally crushed a much bigger enemy force. But it's more than just a win. Mu Chen showed incredible skill with something called War Array Aura. Think of it like this powerful energy armies use. Turns out, he might be one of these super rare War Array masters. Seriously, his talent? It could totally change how battles are fought there. Second, this whole battle, it's basically lit the fuse for the sect war. That's a huge clash between powerful groups. Daluo Heaven Realm is now going up against the 100 Battle Realm, this kind of rough, unstable place. See, Daluo's mysterious leader, the Lord, was kind of MIA for years, just secluded. But now, the Lord's back, declared war, and dropped a bombshell. The 100 Battle Realm actually has secret backup from the even bigger Heaven Palace. Seems they're trying to avoid a direct showdown with Daluo's own heavy hitter, Liu Dao. Sneaky, right? Finally, and this is huge, especially for the young folks, the stakes are insanely high. Yeah, sure, there's territory involved, but the real prize? The absolute best young cultivator gets a spot in the legendary Dragon Phoenix realm. Inside, there's this thing called Dragon Phoenix Purification. Imagine getting the vitality of like ancient dragons and phoenixes. Almost immortal, massive power boost, yeah. It's not just about getting strong, it's about becoming a vital asset, a future leader. Getting in is super tough though. Needs multiple earthly sovereigns, think top-tier grandmasters, just to open the door. Only the elite get chosen. So yeah, this coming war? It's gonna shake things up big time and show us who the next heroes of the Daluo Heaven Realm really are.
This is the brief on Mu Chen's evolving journey. So if you're following the Great Ruler fantasy series, things are really heating up for the main character, Mu Chen. We're seeing some major personal growth, big shifts in the world around him, his group's gearing up for a fight, and he's just teamed up with someone, well, very powerful and kind of mysterious. Let's dive in. Okay, first up, Mu Chen's faction, right? The Roaring Swan Hall? Well, after laying low and building up strength for years, they've finally shown their hand. They're gathering everyone for a huge war in this key area called the Dawa Routine region. Looks like they're ready to settle some old fights and really cement their power there. Things are feeling kind of celebratory, but definitely tense. Second, Mu Chen himself has hit a major milestone. He's powered up to the second level of the Zijin realm. That's a pretty deep level of cultivation, you know? It took a super rare item called the Zitian pill, and get this, almost 2,000 drops of this special Zijin liquid. That just shows you the kind of resources needed to level up. This boost makes him feel way more ready for the upcoming Academy War, a big competition and his chance to get into the Longfeng region, which is like the place for top-tier training. And finally, Mu Chen's made this really important, kind of shadowy alliance with a sorceress named Mantualo. Here's the deal. She desperately needs his Eternal Sky Pearl, this unique, powerful artifact, like now, to stop an ancient curse that's kicking in just 3 days. What's in it for him? She's promised to teach him this awesome solar deity body cultivation technique, and wow, she shows off her power by basically teleporting Mu Chen past heavy security to this hidden black mountain. There, she reveals this ancient, complex setup and a seriously creepy black pool where she starts her ritual. So yeah, Mu Chen's world is getting intense. Fast, big power-ups, risky alliances, and war clouds gathering.